Some breaking news out of Washington, D.C. this afternoon. The Antisemitism Awareness Act, which would enshrine the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism in federal law and help govern how the Department of Education investigates anti-Semitism on college campuses, has a newly revised text which includes an amendment that would protect language alleging that Jews killed Jesus. This is according to The Forward, the Jewish newspaper. The Antisemitism Awareness Act is a bill that passed the House last year. In the Senate last year, Senator Chuck Schumer refused to let it come up for a vote on the Senate floor. Now it's back with bipartisan revisions, and it has a religious liberty clause that would protect statements such as, quote, Jews killed Jesus, end quote. The new language in the bill also clarifies First Amendment protections. This new language is being viewed as a concession to Christian conservatives who want to protect people who preach that Jews killed Jesus. The added language in the bill clarifies that the legislation would not, quote, diminish or infringe upon any right protected under the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, including the free exercise of religion. So that language is being viewed as a concession to right-wing Christians in Congress, as well as their constituents, want to make sure that accusations, that the false accusations that the Jews killed Jesus is protected speech and not considered anti-Semitism under this bill. This is being viewed as a concession by those who want the bill to get through to Christian conservatives protecting the deicide charge, the false deicide charge against the Jewish people from enforcement by the Department of Education. A little bit more about this bill. This bill would require the Federal Department of Education to use the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism. That definition classifies most anti-Zionism as anti-Semitic. And under this law, the DOE would have to use that definition when they investigate anti-Semitism on college campuses. Now, of course, anti-Israel groups are vehemently opposed to this bill because the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism says when you oppose the Jewish state and want it ethnically cleansed of Jews and you want Palestinians to take over that land, in other words, you want Israel to be ethnically cleansed of Jews, that is considered anti-Semitism under the IHRA definition. It's also anti-Semitic under this definition to single out Israel for criticism, holding them to a standard that you wouldn't hold any other country to. That double standard, when you treat the Jewish state differently from any other country because it's Israel, because it's the Jewish homeland, that is considered anti-Semitic under this law. So, of course, the anti-Israel groups are vehemently opposed to it. Some right-wing Christian groups are also opposed to it. A good example of that is Congresswoman Marjory Taylor Greene, who has argued that it's not anti-Semitic to say the Jews killed Jesus, even though we know that's an anti-Semitic falsehood. It's been rejected by the Catholic Church. There's no historical evidence or research or documentation showing that Jewish people killed Jesus. In fact, all of the research points to the fact that the Romans, who were occupying Judea at the time, Judea being the Jewish kingdom that was occupied by Rome, the Romans, in fact, killed Jesus, who was Jewish. He was a practicing Jew. He was a practicing Jew who believed in Torah. The Antisemitism Awareness Act passed in the House last May by an overwhelming majority, but it was stalled in the Senate under Chuck Schumer, who is Jewish. He refused to let the bill come up for a vote when Joe Biden was president. Now the bill is back with these changes. Now, many Democrats also oppose the bill because they say it would essentially criminalize criticism of Israel. So they're in addition to the 21 Republicans who voted against the bill last year. Again, this bill with the new language comes up for a vote in committee tomorrow. I'm going to be staying on this story. I'll have more for you then.